Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Spiritual Crash. This is episode 5. I am your host, Gethin Mayers, and today we're going to be talking about soul contracts. So I did a live the other day, and someone asked me about soul contracts, and I thought it was quite an interesting topic, and I wanted to talk about it. So what is a soul contract? So basically, when we pass away, or we're in the spirit realm, our soul goes up to wherever it goes. No one can know for sure. Everywhere you read will say something different, but the main purpose of a soul contract is basically we pick the life that we go into. We pick our parents. We pick certain situations that's going to happen to us, certain lessons that we have to learn. So a soul contract could be anything from, like, on your soul contract that you're going to have someone who you lose a family member close to you at a young age. It could be things that you're going to get into a car accident. Could be things like you're going to have, I don't know, become an alcoholic. You're going to be a drug abuser. So there's certain things in your life that they're going to happen regardless what we do. So a soul contract, you got a list of things that you got to learn in this lifetime in order to move up to, like, the higher realms and stuff like that. So people who tend to have, like, bad lives here now, so such as, you know, murderers and stuff like that, the people, they're obviously going to stay and not complete some of the lessons that they've learned from their past life. So then when they come back to the earth, they'll probably go through difficulties of, you know, maybe they'll get murdered, or maybe they'll experience someone around them getting murdered, just so that that soul can basically learn. So soul contracts is quite a touchy subject, because there's always that question of, why is this happening to me? And if you're a non-believer, you don't believe in spirituality, or you believe in another religion, you would want to blame God. You know, you blame the higher energy, the God. And I know it don't make it any easier at all, these topics, because some things, they are just straight right cruel. And I don't understand it myself, why. But when I've read books and when I've spoke about, it to my guide, they've basically told me that it's basically to evolve the soul, so that when we come down, that we're more, happy and positivity, and that we've learned the lesson, so we can go up. And then eventually, once your soul becomes high enough, you become a teacher, you can become, so that's basically it. Is to make you more spiritually in tuned in the next couple of lives and stuff with your soul. So that's the purpose of the soul contract. So it's basically your whole life is planned out. And it's quite interesting, because everyone thinks of life as a straight line. Everyone thinks that it's the day you're born, day you die, everything you do is free will. You have your own choice. But as I stated, there's some things in your soul contract that's going to happen regardless. So whether that's the parents that you're assigned to, or whether it's, like I said, you lose your parents young, or you have a bit of an accident or something along those lines, they're going to happen regardless. Whether it's at 19 years old or 20 years old, whichever path you take, what will be, will be. And that's an important part to learn. What will be, will be. So when we come to the crossroad and we're really stuck on what decision that we need to make, what will be, will be. So life is more like a ball of yarn, or a bowl of spaghetti. It intertwines and it crosses and it turns. Each path is the right path. Each path we take is going to be right for us, because we're going to learn the lessons along the way. So it's really interesting when you start looking at life that way, because you feel like you got more opportunities. You don't really tend to overthink or overanalyze problems, because regardless which path you're going to take, there's going to be good, there's going to be bad, because who knows, if you didn't take that path, you wouldn't be where you are now, if that makes sense. So even if you think it was a bad decision at the time, we learn from that. We make mistakes, don't get me wrong, we do make mistakes, but this is where free will comes in, but everything is already set out for us. So I love the debate when people say, oh, that can't be the case, everything can't be planned out, because then that gets rid of free will, and life is all about free will. But they go hand in hand together, because we still have the free will of choosing which path we choose, but it is already planned out for us. So whether it gets delayed for a month or so, but it is always planned out for us. The only thing in life we can guarantee is that we will die one day. As sad as it is, that's the only thing in life that's guaranteed. Or the saying as it goes, the only thing in life that we can guarantee is death and taxes. But yeah, so it's quite interesting when we view life in this manner, where we can go forward knowing that whatever decision we choose to make is going to be the right decision for us, because it's going to get us where we need to be, regardless if we took the left path or the right path. And that's the exciting thing about life, is we do have free will. We have free will to choose who we bother with, who we spend our time with. There's just some major events in your life that's going to happen to you, that's going to cause a shift in your mindset, that's going to cause a shift in the type of people we tend to bother with, spend our time with. And this is so exciting. Like, I don't know whether you're as excited as I am to know that we got free will and we control our life, but we're also designed, we're desired, we got a purpose in life. And I think that's the main purpose of a soul contract, is to find your purpose, is to find your calling in life, something that makes you truly happy, rather than just work in the system, to find something that you are truly passionate about. And I think that is so exciting. So the soul contract, you're going to learn lots of lessons. They basically, yeah, lots and lots of lessons. And we'll never know. We'll never know what is truly on our soul contract until we pass away and our soul goes to wherever it goes. But when we shift our mindset into the fact that what will be in the point that we might as well make the most of this life that we got, and regardless, and learn along the way, rather than over-analyzing everything and panicking and then just staying idle, just staying still, rather than choosing a path to go down. And I think that is so beautiful that we're allowed to have this free will choice to create the life that we want. We're not restricted to just a linear lineage of paths that we take in life. We can take any path we choose, any path we put our mind to, you're capable of achieving. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. So this is your sign that you need to start putting in the work, start making a shift to go towards what you truly desire, what you truly want from life. Sit down and think about it. What do you truly want from life? What makes you truly happy? And then that's when you'd start be lining up with your soul contract. That's when you'll start realizing that the life that you got, you picked your life, if that makes sense. You're responsible for everything that's happened to your life because your soul signed the contract for this life that you're given. So the bad things that are happening to you in your life, it's all part of the soul contract. It's all part of the soul contract. So it's up to you whether you learn the lessons from the soul contract and become a winner, or you carry on playing with the victim mentality that, oh, everything bad's happening to me, blah, blah, blah. As soon as we hold up responsibility for this life that we're choosing and that we're able to change the life that we have, it's not going to be easy. It's not easy at all, but the first step is admitting that we're in control of our life. We're in control of our actions. We're in control of our emotions. When you realize that the only thing in life you can control is yourself, is your own actions, is your own responses, and you shift your mindset to, I chose this life, so I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to learn the lessons I need to learn, rather than just dwelling on everything bad that's happening. Shift your mindset to focus on the good that you've had, the lessons that you've learned. So even though it's a negative situation, like I said in one of the episodes, I think it was the first episode, when I done my ankle, I thought my life was over. I played the victim. I was in a proper victim mentality. And it wasn't until I learned about soul contracts and flipping the switch that I was able to make that change, to make that flip. And it wasn't easy. I want to make sure it's not going to be easy, but it's got to be a choice. So if you want to make that change, and rather than accepting this is my life or everything bad happens to me, we're in control of creating our own life. Even though you got that soul contract in place, like I said, those negative events, those major events in your life that's going to change your life dramatically, they're going to happen regardless, whether you stay safe and don't do anything risky, or if you go out and do it, those major events, there's going to be a major event that's going to shift your mindset. It's going to change you as a person. You're going to learn lessons from it. So why don't we just embrace them as they come rather than playing the victim and having that victim mentality? Because it's only holding yourself back. And that's a thing I really want to get across is you're just holding yourself back when you have this victim mentality. And like I said, it's not easy, but once we make that shift that you are in control of your life, you've already picked this life out for you. So let's just make the most of it. Water off a duck's back, as they say. When people are trying to be negative to you, just focus on your path, focus on your direction, focus on your drive, because you will realize that the world is a much better place when you start to do things authentically. You start doing things for yourself. You start doing things because you feel like you got a purpose. And I found this when I started doing the mediumship. I found that, oh my God, this is my purpose, helping people. This is why I wanted to do the podcast, is because my purpose is basically to help people. I went through all that darkness, all that dark times in order to be the person I am today, in order to share my message, to inspire other people. And this is what I want to do with you, is to inspire you to make those changes in your life so that you can head towards your purpose. Ask yourself, what really fulfills you? What really fills you with that oof, that feeling of I belong here? What is it? What is it for yourself? Ask yourself that. And I know for me, it was the mediumship. As soon as I'd done it, it just felt like I was at home. And I always say to people that my spiritual circle is my second family. It is my second family. I got so much respect for them. Whenever I'm doing a message or I'm talking to people about my story, inspiring people, I just feel like on top of the world. I feel on top of the world. I feel like I belong. It comes naturally to me now, whereas before, I don't think it did. And I think I had to go through all that dark times, all those negative parts. But I know that the alcoholism, the gamble addiction, losing like the company and stuff like that, it was all part of my soul contract. So everything that's happened to me, losing my auntie when I did, everything that's happened to me is all part of my soul contract. And it's really interesting when you look at it in this light, because at the time you do want to blame, you do want to play the victim, you do want to just curl up in a ball and just let the world eat you alive. But you're in control. You're in control of the world. So don't let it eat you alive. Instead, what we're going to do, we're going to eat the world alive. We're in control, and I really do believe in the fact that everyone is able to do what they want eventually. Everyone is able to take control of their life. It's going to be a lot harder for some than others, because obviously the longer you've been in this mentality of the victim mentality, the longer you don't understand that everything happens for a reason. There's no such thing as coincidence. Everything is part of our life journey, regardless when it happens. And life is like a bowl of spaghetti. It intertwines. It's not a straight line. You can see things for the bigger picture. You can see things a lot clearer, which is really exciting. I don't know about you, but it really does fill me with so much joy knowing that I'm not a mistake. I'm not a mess up. I didn't ruin my life, because it's never too late to change. And these major events in your life, they definitely teach you lessons in order for you, when you do come back and reincarnate, if that's what you believe in, is what I believe in. When you do come back, you will learn the lessons that you needed to learn, So, I don't know, I am looking into like past life regression and stuff like that, but I don't know too much about it. So that will definitely be a podcast episode later on. Because at the moment I'm a bit 50-50 with it, but they say that you can learn parts of your soul contract from past life regression, but I'm not too sure. But all I know is when we die, our soul goes up, and basically when we're ready to come back down to the earth, you have a soul contract you sign, and that's basically saying I pick my family, I pick if there's going to be any illnesses, I pick if there's going to be like money, or if I'm going to have money issues, that kind of thing. You pick basically what kind of things, and you also pick like what is your purpose, what are you meant to be doing, that kind of thing, what makes you fulfilled. and yeah, you pick a lot of it. So this is why a lot of people tend to be like more of a healing nature. This is why people tend to be more sensitive than others. There's lots of things that go into the soul contract, because obviously your soul creates who you are as a person. So obviously the soul contract is going to be quite a lengthy thing, where it could be saying that someone would be, I don't know, fat, skinny, they have a victim mentality all their life, or they got bullied all their life, or they were the bullier. There's going to be things that's going to be on your soul contract. And I've read loads of books on it. Every book I've read, something completely different. Everyone says something different. The only thing that we agree on is the fact that there is a soul contract. So you take your own opinion, do your own research on it. But what I've taken from it is this, and this is where I preach to everyone. And it's another way that I keep myself positive, keep myself knowing, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's a nice little ramble, just to, I don't know, inspire you to know that regardless what option you take in your life is where you're meant to be, and eventually you're going to be working towards your most authentic self, working towards purpose. So I hope it can help you reflect a little bit and just ask yourself, what makes me truly happy? Am I happy doing what I'm doing now? Am I happy with the life I have now? If not, change it, because nothing's stopping you from changing it, because what will happen regardless what you're doing. So if it's meant to happen, it will. And that's basically a good motto. But that also don't mean that you can just sit back and wait for everything to unfold. You've still got to put the work in. Because I wish that would be so much easier. But no, you still got to put the work in. Otherwise, you'll only attract the bad things on your soul contract. Because some things don't happen as well. That's also another thing to remember, is some things on your soul contract won't happen, and you don't learn the lessons from what you're meant to experience. And again, it just goes to mindset and stuff like that. So if we're not learning the lessons, guess what? When you come back, you'll be doing them all over again. So start to make the work, start to make the changes now. So I hope you really can reflect on this. And yeah, that's been Soul Contracts. In next episode, we are going to be covering spirit guides. So I mentioned I talked to my guide earlier. So in the next episode, we're going to be talking about spirit guides, different spirit guides, and yeah, how they can help you and stuff. So it's a little bit of a shorter episode, but it gets the message across. So I hope this has helped. I've been Gethin, and this has been Spiritual Crash. Enjoy the rest of your day. I believe in you. I'm proud of you. Let's go and smash life.